All right, perfect. We are kicking off Enter the Last Dragon podcast with your host, RoyRob, featuring my man, Theon Richards. Theon, go ahead and give yourself a quick shout out, who you are. Tell us a little bit about yourself, what your interests are, things you like to do.
Uh, well, first of all, what's up, everybody? 36, 37-year-old. Been here for a while. Had a lot of life behind me. Nice little. That's about me right there in a nutshell. Came from nothing. Now I'm here.
All right, all right. So, you know, one thing that really has me fired up right now is some of the things that's going on in society in our culture, specifically the black culture. And one of those things is martial arts. I have been a true huge fan. I've done martial arts majority of my life. Started out in regular karate at the YMCA. Learned how to count to 10 in Japanese. I think I still might remember it. It was Ich ni Zonchi Go Rushi Hutch Kuju, something like that. Something like that. So I did that and then transitioned even throughout college. I was doing Taekwondo, did that for about 2 years, used to box, won golden gloves, and then went to judo for about a year and a half. Then I for the last 10 or 11 years, I went straight to Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. Got a rank of purple, four stripe purple. Should be a brown belt by now, but I slacked off. A little bit of life got in the way here and there. Shout out to my teammates, Vaggy, Team Vaggy, my professor, Mike Rogers at St. Charles MMA. But anyway, on to what we love so much is this thing in society and martial arts. I must say that I have truly grown to just become so fond of it. And one of those things that really got me going and really into it was some of the movies we saw, some of the movies I saw as a child. Name a few, of course: The Chinese Connection, Enter the Dragon, The Last Dragon, The Big Boss, even from Van Damme movies, from like Kickboxer, Bloodsport. If it was something with martial arts in it, I was there and I watched it. American Ninja, everything you can think of, I saw it. Kung Fu Kids, I rented every movie. I was there for it. So one of the movies I wanted to kick off with you today about, well, actually two of them, Theon, was let's start with the famous one, the legend himself, Mr. Bruce Lee, and my passion for him. Let's start with him. Tell me the first Bruce Lee movie you ever saw.
Enter the Dragon.
Enter the Dragon, my man. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. Tell me what made that movie what it is for you today. Tell me about it. Give me some insight on your feelings about Enter the Dragon.
Enter the Dragon to me was like the video game before video games. You know what I mean? Like it had that perfect just scenario of fight scenes of like, hey, I passed this stage. I'm on to the next guy. I'm like,
Right, right.
and like you end them with the final boss where you're just like, okay, I got this. Like
Yeah.
that was literally video games before video games. I mean, the way that man movie just played out, it was perfect.
It was perfect, right? So you had like I remember kind of like this confusion about the movie at first. So at the first, you have this kickoff where Bruce Lee is almost training at the temple, and you see him going against I think it was is it Samo Han? Samo Han? Jackie Lee's Jackie Chan's is always going against Samo. Mixing up names. But long story short, um, Bruce Lee's going against him on the first scene, and you see them, and it's almost like a mixed martial arts kickoff. Like you see the first thing, and it's like boom, and then it kind of like, and to me, as I remember, it like kind of goes into this like long beginning transition phase where you see everyone like transition into this like new part where they start to get to where they were to how they got to the island. You know what I'm saying? Like all of a sudden it is like, okay, we kicked off here, now we going to the island. And it was like even on the boat. Do you remember the scene where Bruce tricked old boy to into a fight because he thought he was so badass. You know that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like what about that movie do you think stands out the most as far as if you could say it changed the dynamic of way Americans thought about martial arts, or why they might want to get into this new unknown thing? Because that movie came out in like 73, 72, 73.
Well, so I mean, wasn't wasn't Green Hornet before
Yeah,
that?
he started in the Green Hornet right before that. That was Enter the Dragon was his last known film. Prior to that was like the Green Hornet, Chinese Connection, Big Boss. All those things came before that.
I want to say Green Hornet was I think the initial impact when it came to American society, and the martial arts, culture like that. Like watching him build a kick like that and jump like that, like that perfect, choreographed hit scenes. Like
Yeah.
I, I know the graphics look crazy good nowadays, but I mean back then, like that was perfect. That was like you thought they were fighting. I mean, flat out. So
So do you think that like even his directing, because he had so much parts in it, even like producing the movie, the sounds he would make, like no one else was doing like sounds like that. That was like so unheard of. Like it was almost like I make this noise, I kick the heck out of you, a loud pop happens, and then it's like I'm gonna finish off with another noise. You know what I'm saying? like nobody was doing that. Like what was that? You know what I'm saying? Like how do you experience that? How do you hear that for the first time and not get chills? You know what I'm saying? like what? Like do you remember? Do you remember on Enter the Dragon where that the scene where uh, he has basically, I want to say that Bruce had like snuck out because he was trying to investigate because he was doing the undercover work to try to take down Mr. Han, and and then they invite my man to his office, and all of a sudden he's like, hey, I know it was you. They blamed it on him, and all of a sudden, do you remember that famous line? Suddenly, Mr. Han, I would like to leave your island. And I was, and he's like, man, you come straight up out of a comic book. That was like, like, how do you not take that and be like, dude, did Bruce Lee just incorporate this brother into this film that made it like, I mean, it made it like Soul Brother. I want to be him. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you do that?
ooh wee.
Yeah. So it to me it turned me up. Now what do you think about the Last Dragon? What did you feel about that when you first saw it?
I'll be honest. Like the Last Dragon had me hyped. Like that was like the when it comes to like martial arts, that was like the Tiger Woods of martial arts in the black community for me. Like you know what I mean? Like if you didn't like martial arts, like man, before that you loved it after. Like it was nobody left standing. Like I mean, every kid in the neighborhood was, somehow, either on one side or the other. You know?
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, and my name's Roy, so of course, you know what I'm saying, Bruce Lee Roy. I was like, oh, like as a kid, I went. It was intense. Might not even be the right word for it. You know what I'm saying? Like I first saw it, and it had all the if like I look back now and I think about the music that went along with it, the setting, what they was portraying, the clothes they wear, the entertainment factor of it, the storyline. He had the dude that was kind of a corny nerd who was so into martial arts, kind of introverted, shy, but yet he was all of a sudden breaking out of his own internal issues that he was trying to go through. Whether it was kind of like him trying to make it to this next level and reach the ultimate glow. You know what I'm saying? And it was like and then it's like, oh man, I see somebody I think I might like. Like I would like to meet her. You know what I'm saying? Like all of a sudden you get Laura Charles, and then you got like, I mean, it has so many dynamics in that movie Then you have like here's his big boss. You know what I'm saying? The big boss is the dude is I, like Bruce Lee wasn't even faded by this cat. Like he wasn't even paying him no. Bruce Leroy wasn't even paying him no. Like it's like show enough who. Like he wasn't even paying him no mind. You know what I'm saying? And like show enough had it determined. He was so determined that he had to be Bruce Leroy that he made every effort to make it be known that he was better than Bruce Leroy. Like that was his whole mission. Like it would seem like I'm created just so I can have this moment in life so I can beat Bruce Leroy. You know what I'm saying? Like what? And then you sit back and be like, is this really real now? Is this going down? Then you got the damsel in distress. Like, oh my God, that movie just took me to another level, like times 10. I mean, if you had another movie in the black culture or in the martial arts arena that you could think about, what movie would you like compare any of those movies to that you could be like, oh man, I know this movie like the back of my hand.
Honestly, like the sad part is like I would actually shift the anime on that because
All
like
right, that's good. Do it. Do it.
Ninja Scroll to me still is probably one of the most epic like martial art movies I've ever seen before. Like like as a child, like the moment I watched Ninja Scroll, I mean that just solidified everything. Like, hey, this right here is probably the coolest thing you ever be able to see.
I would
I mean,
agree with that statement. That in Vampire Hunter D. I would agree
oh
with that
yeah,
statement. I would
oh yeah.
agree with that. 100 times Ninja Scroll was just times 10. Like you can't. I don't even think you could put Ninja Scroll on right now in front of a serious anime watcher without them like saying, "Okay, stop what I need. Stop what I'm doing. I'm finna sit down and I'm finna concentrate on Ninja Scroll." Like it's impossible. Like
And
it
that's
was
after watching it about like 50,000 times already. You still
right,
oh yeah,
right, right. Give me a favorite scene from Ninja Scroll.
no.
Anything, whatever you got.
Oh man, that's oh crap. There's too many dudes. I couldn't dare pick one
All
because
right.
it's just so. I guess like maybe fight scene wise,
Yeah.
I still love the big rock dude and how he died. You know what I mean? Because like he was slobbing all over old girl.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I remember that part. Eh,
Demolish. He was gonna demolish
Yeah.
like,
He didn't he have like a tongue and he licked her or something? Wasn't it like
through her. Like that was horrible.
yeah?
Know that she was poisoned. Like the one thing that would kill this dude, because like I think the movie would have ended like if he didn't like literally just meet to her. The movie would have ended right after that battle scene. Like he would have killed her boy. Ninja Scroll would have been over. It would have been done. But oh boy, had on
I, I feel you. I feel if you could say um, if you had a choice, what do you think like anime like takes it to an even higher level? Like, do you think like what's the impact that you think anime has had on even the culture for Black people, for America? What you think about that? Like, even on a basic level, like on the floor level, like just keeping it macro, I guess, as big as possible, not too di- not too linear, not too laser focused. But what do you think anime has done, even from artistic level, for Black people?
I think anime was the second wave of martial art for black people. Like you, man, you definitely had like the Bruce Lee, like Age, the Karate Kid, all that was really really big. Like when you have all those major action heroes, come out. I think anime was that second wave. When you have Wu Tang Clan come
Right,
and start having like these little fight scene animations,
right,
that was
right, right.
like that was version 2.0. I mean, like, yeah, anime is probably by far the most impactful because that's the one you can actually have black heroes on there, and they really are like doing crazy, like they're keeping up with every other person on that show type of deal. I
I
mean,
feel that. I feel that. Like
yeah,
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles did that for me. Like same way. Like when I saw TM, you know what I'm saying? When I saw TMNT, uh, like as a child, they ate Domino's pizza. I wanted Domino's pizza. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like it was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was on a whole nother level. Like I was like, I want to fight the Foot Clan because the Turtles fight the Foot Clan. I think I want to be the smart one, so I want to be Donatello. Um, like I literally I felt like I felt Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles like I was one of the turtles. If that makes any sense, you know what I'm saying?
Glad you. Turtles was like between Turtles and Dragon Ball Z. Those are probably the only two shows I've ever like had to watch as soon as it came on. And I remember
Right.
this came on at what like 6 a.m. in the morning. Like
Yeah.
the first man, the new one would come on at 6 a.m. We used to wake up at like 5:30, 5:45, ready to watch Ninja Turtles. And see,
Exactly, bruh. Let me tell you. So, like, if you really break down, and not to, what I'm saying, not to be just like on some nerd stuff, but if you break down Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they basically had every personality out of each turtle. Like you
mhm.
can't even like you got Donatello, I'm intelligent. You got Leonardo, I'm the leader. You got Raphael, I got attitude problems, but I'm also the tough guy. You got Michelangelo, life is fun, I party. Like you basically got every characteristic. So even like them growing up or even on the show, there was always something that they was able to work through. So you was kind of like learning at that time, but some people might not even paid attention to it. Even from the movie, people might not even tripped off of it. Like, did you ever peep off like I had to be a leader? So Leonardo was like showing his leadership skills, trying to round the brothers up. Or life was fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't try to be too serious, Leonardo. Cowabunga. Be like Michelangelo or Raphael, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes life is tough and I go through tough stuff, but how do I work through those demons inside of me? Like you really break down what was going on with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you can really be like, dude, this was a educational show. Like it shaped a lot of people that's in my circle. You know what I'm saying?
You want man, like you want to man, probably one of the most important things out of that show I thought was important that I didn't realize because like my father's in my life, right? But like a lot of friends I knew, they looked at Splinter like the relationship of
A
sons and a father figure.
winner, right?
That
Oh,
was
bro,
big to a lot of kids. Like they were like, "Oh man, Splinter, my daddy," like like it's
bro.
like yeah, it's crazy.
You can't tell me that there would be a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, I don't know, even thought of or concocted without like this influence from what we had from Bruce Lee, man. Like all that stuff spawns from like because I'm not gonna say it couldn't have happened, but what I am gonna say, I feel like you said you put it like the way I like the way you put it. You was like it was like these waves of things that happened. So you had the initial phase from Bruce Lee, then you had like all these different waves of people loving this new culture. So like the 70s went from it was almost like a karate stage, and then it went to like the Karate Kid. You went to all these different things and we kind of grew up into it. Like I don't know if you remember it or not, but even the cartoon character Darkwing Duck, oh brother, he had karate action going on too. You know what I'm saying? And he was a cartoon detective. You know what I mean? Like man, I'm
Oh,
kind of I'm convinced.
Batman.
You say what? Say it again. Your phone cut out. Say it again.
You knew it was over, man, when Batman came on cartoon with man full blown background and all kinds of different karates.
Right,
Like
right, right. Exactly. Old school Batman. Even the movie, it was like pow, punch, like what pow, slap. There was no like from the new school Batman. Come on, bruh. There is a whole nother. There's a whole nother level. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, what do you think? What do you think is the next wave? So we got this anime going on. Do you think we go to a digital wave? Like, can you imagine that? What do you
me,
think?
virtual reality. That's the
That
next.
VR, yeah, yeah. So you think VR is gonna be it? I said digital, but I meant VR. So you think VR is gonna be it? We're gonna be putting on the VR like headsets and stuff. And
Oh yeah,
what?
like have you seen, like they had a couple of Dragon Ball Z VRs where you can like literally sit there and do a Kamehameha and like watch it like blast into a wall. Like I mean, like you got back with it. You know, like man, if your partner has it on, you gotta sit there and command man each other.
Wow.
Man,
Wow.
when you get to that kind of level, I think the experience though, like overall, like be able to sit there and actually like have something move around you. You know what I mean? To where like instead of watching this kind of flat screen type of deal, if they can put you in the scene to where like you can turn around and watch this movie in like a 360-degree type of angle, I think that's the next real wave that's gonna push because customer experience is huge. You know what I mean? Like I really think they're gonna start pushing away from flat screen TVs and
Yeah.
literally immerse you into this experience.
Wow. That'd be intense, man. Like I can't imagine like the opportunity to be like, yeah, I'm gonna put on this VR headset or whatever, or even whatever glasses, whatever, and all of a sudden I want to play Tekken and I'm playing as martial law, i.e. Really
Yeah.
Bruce Lee. You know what I'm saying? Like, like
Oh yeah.
I go into it and it's like, well, I'm playing as whatever character, and it's like now I get to do certain things to try to imitate the moves, and man, that's like on a whole nother level. Like you really put that in perspective. That's some next level stuff, man. Next level. Well, Theon, I appreciate you coming on today, man. You really really was very insightful. I'm sure the fans, listeners, was definitely got a lot out of what you had to provide today. Is there any other thing you would like to add? Anything you working on? Any projects you got going on?
Honestly, nah, not right now, brother.
Okay, okay. Well, sure. We appreciate you coming on, and we here at Enter the Last Dragon, and all of our fans appreciate you, and we are signing out later.